Almost everyone experiences the sweetness or heartbreak of love, an essential milestone on the path to maturity. But did you know that this powerful emotion may have its roots in the distant past? A new study now published in the journal PNA proposes that the emergence of love may have been a crucial adaptation in our evolution as a species. It was key to helping our hominid ancestors survive the harsh conditions they faced hundreds of thousands of years ago. The idea that love played a major role in human evolution is not exactly a novel one. What is new here is the proposal that love may have actually been a critical factor in our survival. We tend to think of love as just something nice we feel, something that makes life more pleasurable and worth living. But from an evolutionary perspective, it is a bit puzzling why we bother with all the complicated feelings associated with love if it doesn't seem to have any clear survival advantage. Love can make us vulnerable and even put us in danger. So why did natural selection favor our tendency to fall in love? One prevailing idea is that love helped our hominid ancestors form groups with tighter bonds, which in turn gave them an advantage over other species. Living in groups is beneficial because it increases the chances of finding a mate and therefore continuing the species. But group living also comes with disadvantages. In close quarters with lots of other people, there are more opportunities for conflict, especially when resources are limited. Members of a group also compete for access to mates. And within families, there are power struggles between parents and offspring, as well as between spouses. Love might help ease some of these tensions, but how exactly? Some researchers believe that love might help resolve conflicts because it promotes empathy. When we love someone, we're more likely to understand their perspective and what they're going through. This may encourage us to be more forgiving and less likely to hold grudges. Other researchers have argued that love encourages reciprocity, which benefits both individuals involved. So if you do something nice for someone you love, they're more likely to return the favor. This is good because it reduces uncertainty and increases cooperation. Others still have suggested that love motivates us to help others, even at personal risk. So if you love someone, you're more likely to help them, even if it costs you time or energy. And this altruism could be especially important in a crisis. But does any of this really matter for our survival? As hunter-gatherers, our hominid ancestors relied on cooperation to acquire food and defend themselves against predators. Being able to resolve conflicts quickly and efficiently would have been advantageous. But there were likely many ways to achieve this, not just love. Is there any evidence that love was particularly important for our survival? Well, it turns out that we don't need to look further back than the present day. For example, studies of traditional societies suggest that love is not necessarily essential for the success of groups, at least in the sense that you don't need to love each other to cooperate. In some societies, members don't necessarily fall in love, yet they still manage to work together effectively. So while love may facilitate cooperation, it appears to be more of a bonus than a necessity. Studies of modern humans also show that love is not essential for resolving conflict. Loving relationships aren't necessarily less likely to end in violence than non-loving ones. And loving parents aren't necessarily less likely to harm their children than non-loving ones. These observations suggest that love alone cannot explain human behavior. There must be other factors at play as well. Okay, so maybe love isn't the answer. Instead, perhaps what our ancestors really needed was something a bit more primal, something that would motivate them to work together during times of hardship. Like when food was scarce or predators were on the prowl. Enter fear. Fear is a powerful emotion that can motivate us to take immediate action when we perceive a threat. If love helps us get along, then fear can keep us in line. Studies of primates suggest that fear of punishment is a powerful force in promoting cooperation. And research on children shows that fear of parental punishment can motivate prosocial behavior like sharing and helping, but fear alone may not be enough. Just as love can inspire great acts of kindness, it can also lead to great acts of destruction. Parents who are too afraid of their children's misbehavior may end up being overprotective, and a group of people who are too afraid of each other may struggle to cooperate effectively. So maybe fear is better at motivating individual actions than large-scale cooperation. So perhaps love and fear had an additive effect. Maybe it wasn't just the presence of love or fear that was important, but how these emotions combined. A 2023 study found that fear of losing something you love, like a child or partner, could be a strong motivator for cooperation. When people felt a strong sense of loss, they were more likely to share their resources with others, especially close relatives. This suggests that fear and love may have worked together to promote cooperation in our ancestors. Fear of losing loved ones may have pushed them to cooperate with each other, while love helped them overcome the disadvantages of living in groups. Fear and love might also help us forgive, which is another behavior that seems essential for our survival. Research suggests that our ability to forgive is linked to our survival. In both hunter-gatherer and modern traditional societies, people who can't easily forgive are more likely to be rejected by their groups. And experimental studies show that people who find it hard to forgive are more likely to die young. So being able to let go of grudges is critical for living a long life. And studies show that love and fear may play a role here too. Loving relationships may help us forgive because they make us more concerned with other people's perspectives. And research suggests that people who fear losing their loved ones are more likely to forgive. This could be because the fear of losing someone motivates them to repair damaged relationships. In the end, love may not have been enough to keep our hominid ancestors alive, nor would fear or forgiveness or even empathy. Each of these tendencies only covers part of the picture. It's when we combine them together that they become powerful forces that help us survive. So while falling in love may not have directly increased our chances of survival, it has helped us in other ways that allowed us to get where we are today. The authors of the new study say that their findings have implications for understanding human uniqueness. Unlike other animals, we have the ability to reflect on our own mortality and contemplate the possibility of an afterlife. And it is possible that these unique cognitive abilities allowed us to develop uniquely powerful emotions like love and fear. So while love may not be the whole story, it still has an important part to play. In fact, we might not even be here today if it weren't for the emotions we feel when we fall in love. But I'd love to hear what you think. Did I miss anything? Let me know your thoughts down below, and thanks for watching. This video was made possible by our incredible community of patrons. And if you'd like to help us make videos like this, you can get started at our support page. You'll get to see your name in the credits, get early access to videos before they're published, and even chat with us directly. Learn more and join us today.